Good evening, everyone. It's Paulie. Happy Friday, and I guess it's Good Friday for Christians. And if you are of another faith, then whichever holy day it is, I wish you all the best. So this evening we're going to do a Flashback Friday episode where I'm going to go through some items from about 20 years ago that used to be part of popular culture. Hopefully they'll give you something to laugh about. Some of the fashions, how they've gone out of trend, some of the items we used to use, and to the kids today, ask your parents about these. I'm sure they'll have some great stories about them, and I'm sure you can get some photos of theirs and see what they look like. Anyone else that's watching, if you recall any of these items, comment below, or if you remember something from the time, drop that below. Now, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you a photo of a ball that I went to back in 1997. So you'll just see that there, and I'll just put that up on the camera, and you'll notice everything's rather baggy. That was the fashion back then. Rather than fitted and couture, everything was baggy. And one of the things that was quite popular were 26 red, FUBU jeans. There we go. So FUBU jeans, they're a size, can you believe it, a size 34. Yeah, look at that. I mean, that pant leg is bigger than my upper torso. These are my normal pants, and that's what they would look like. Fitted waist, but rather baggy down the bottom. The brand I'm wearing, Echo. That's another brand from the 90's. Also popular in the 90's were Kangols. There we go. One sec, sorry, I'll wear it properly. There we go. So before not before Samuel L. Jackson was wearing them, but when early 90's, these were popular, but it wasn't too common for someone like me to be wearing them. Watch-wise, G-Shocks were the thing, so we all wore G-Shock watches, and well, didn't wear G-Shock watches, but they were very popular. Hey guys, good to see you. One sec, I just got to wave to some people. There we go. Oh, hello everyone. So G-Shock watches were very, very popular. They came in all sorts of colors. They didn't have any smartwatch functions. They were just very, very basic. This one's gonna, so ignore what this is, but this is a single. It came with 4 songs and it was played on a Discman. Now, these were terrible if you were moving around. They would skip. So you couldn't get you couldn't get more than a couple of seconds without it skipping and jumping. If you guys had a Walkman, post below, let us know what you had, or a Discman or a Walkman. And yeah, these singles would have 4 songs, and they'd cost about $9. An album would be like $35. But these things, man, people would collect hundreds of them. It's Backstreet, but I know you say that, but there wasn't a lot of good music out then, so you'd buy anything you could to get your hands on, or you'd buy anything you could. Next, we've got the media storage device for video was VHS. Now, if you were a kid in the 90's, you'd always record your music video clips on your VHS in the morning, much like you make a mixtape. I don't know. Audio tapes were sort of coming out of, hey, Javan, how you doing, bro? Good to see you. Now, for media and information, you'd get The Source. Now, this was really hard to get in Australia. America, it was fairly popular, but in Australia, it was so difficult to get it. It had come a couple months in late. But it had all the latest. This has got Snoop Dogg after he's signed with Master P, so this is post-Death Row days, if anyone remembers any of that. And yeah, to just have all the articles. Pele, there we go, there's a fashion brand there. He's got his No Limit special in there. This is what, $19.99? Oh wow, that's even drag on. Whoa. That's from Rough Riders. Gosh, anyways, mobile phones weren't very popular. If you did have one, they were larger, but when they did come out, the 3 phone was probably the biggest game changer. These things allowed you to go online. Before that, you know, you couldn't surf the net and be mobile. It was on a computer or something. So having this was amazing, and the fact that you could do video calls with a little camera on the top there. Now, I don't know why they don't do this today, but that little camera just, I don't know if you can see that, it spins around back or front, so no matter which way you're facing, either the back or the front, you can always record. 3 phones. You had unlimited calls. They went out of business. iPods had just come out in 2001, but they didn't become really popular until 2002, 2003. They were still extremely expensive, and the classics didn't, they had a black and white screen. They only lasted a couple of hours and could only hold a few hundred songs. All my old movie tickets and concert tickets that I used to go to. And one here that I've got, it was my first movie in Perth. It was Next Friday with Ice Cube. There we go. I'll just show that to the camera. 2 last items I've got to show you. One is, this is what was replaced by USBs. This is what they call a floppy disk, but it's actually hard, and it's a 3.5 inch floppy. In equivalent today, it could maybe store half a song. It's 1.4 megabytes, not gigabytes, megabytes. So a couple of Word documents maybe from today. Couldn't store an image. Images are a couple of megabytes. So that's what we were using to store our files on. And then computers. I pulled out the battery before, and unfortunately it's lost the operating system, but PowerBook 14C. So this was rare to have a color screen. It doesn't have a webcam. It's got a little trackpad. It's got infrared. There was no Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Infrared. So if you broke the signal, that's it. You had to start again. It took the floppy disk. No CD-ROM, no DVD player, no USB. You couldn't play movies. You couldn't. Very basic internet. But these were what they. This thing's. It's all battery. That's all it is, and you'd maybe get half an hour out of it if you were lucky. These would cost $2 grand, 1,500, and yeah, they were the state of the art back in the late 90s. So you can sort of see how that weighs up. Look how thick that is. That is all battery there. So that's a flashback to the 90s. As you can see, the pants, the hat, pop culture and collectors items or whatever they are, the wear we used to what we used to wear. I hope you've had a good laugh at that. If you scroll through my profile, you could see some of the other Throwback Thursday and Flashback Friday photos of me in my ridiculous outfits from that period of time. Everyone, I'd like to wish you a happy Easter. May you all continue to be safe, continue to be well. May you and your families, wherever you are, do the same. And thank you once again so much for all your support. Everyone, have a great night and have a great Saturday. Peace out.